Hi, everybody. Amanda Herr from Amanda Herr Coaching here. And I wanted to stop by and talk to you today about a couple of things. I want to have an open discussion. So, this is something that I'm going to be doing pretty much every Wednesday. I want to get together, and I'm still playing with my software, but I want to get together and talk about the business of possibility. So, a lot of times I'll have guests with me, but today I am actually flying solo. But I do have a topic that is near and dear to my heart and something that I want to talk about during this holiday season. And you've seen me post about it if you've been following what I have been doing, but it's really talking about what's stopping you. So, what I mean by that is, what's stopping you from taking control of your career. So, if you think back, or if I think back to about 10 years ago when I was with CNN, I was a successful person. I was vice president of advertising sales for the Midwest. It looked good on paper. But what was happening is that my career was actually controlling me and I wasn't actually controlling my career. So it had gotten away from me. So as much as I loved what I was doing in the beginning at that point in time, as I had gotten into it, I'd been there for a while. It wasn't something that I was enjoying anymore. So, really what I'm talking about today is an open conversation about what was stopping me at that time, but also what might be stopping you. So, a lot of the women that I speak with are pretty much in the same position I was in 9, 10 years ago, where they're very successful in what they're doing. They've worked really hard to get to where they are. However, they're not fulfilled. They may not be being challenged. They may not be excited about what they're doing or feel good about what they're doing. They may have dreams of doing something a little bit different. I always talk about it like this, where you were climbing the career mountain, and when you got to the top you realized the view wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be. And you know what? That's totally okay. That's okay. It happens to the best of us, right? But what's stopping you from changing that? So, like, what's stopping you from taking control back in respect to your career, can taking control back and not letting your career control you? We spend a good deal of our lives at work, and when we are feeling burnt out, or we're feeling disrespected, or bored, or unchallenged, or disappointed, and we have to do that day in and day out, it can be hard, and it can really bleed into the rest of our lives because we literally are spending most of our lives at work, right? So, how can we get back to actually getting on track where our career feeds us? We're in control of our career, and we can move forward in a way that actually excites us and makes us happy, and actually that would actually radiate out to the rest of our lives too. So anyway, so I have a little presentation. It's actually just a couple of slides, but I kind of wanted to try to use my new handy dandy um, presentation, my live stream stuff. So, okay, so what's stopping you? This is an open conversation. This is not something where I'm speaking at you. This is where I want you guys to actually talk to me. So feel free to comment, shoot me a note. I want to have an open conversation about this because I'm going to be really open about what I've done and where I came from and how I made change. And I want you to be open about where you're at, and what kind of change you're looking to create as well, because that's when you start being honest with yourself and start really looking at things that you can actually affect change for yourself, and you can affect change for those around you as well. So, what is stopping you? There's a couple of main things that stopped me, and I'm sure are stopping you as well. And I love this picture. So, I always joke around and I say this is me when I wake up. But anyway, but the main one is fear. It's fear of the unknown. I worked my tail off to become vice president of advertising sales at CNN, largest news network in the world at the time. And I was so scared to step out and try something different, and do something. I wasn't sure, do I have the talent? I'm asking myself, do I have the talent to do something different? Do I know what I could do? Right. So it's all this fear. And really that fear it makes sense, because when you have been doing something or in the same industry, or you have been at the same job for a very long time, you may be thinking to yourself, well, this is, this is what I'm going to do. And if you're 40 plus, you might be thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to ride it out, and then I'll retire when I'm 65. Not everybody's got to love their job. It's okay. If I can just get through this week, or if I can get through this month or this year or whatever it might be, right? Because the fear stops us because it's protecting us. So we're like saying, okay, don't try something different. Don't rock that boat. Just stay the status quo. So we stop ourselves from trying something different. What we're not doing is allowing ourselves to really look at what's going on. There is no safety really anymore in being in a large corporation or being with a company for any length of time. It used to be, I'm 51. So as I was getting into the industry, it was very much like, go into whatever industry you're going into, stay there, work for a company, be loyal, and that will actually, they'll be loyal to you. Unfortunately, that is not the case anymore. Now, loyalty is not rewarded in many cases, right? So length of tenure, not so much. In fact, if you're in the same job for 3 years or more, people start asking questions about why you haven't tried to move up or gone somewhere or done something different with, within the company. So so that's gone. So there's not that. And you're at the mercy of the bottom line. I mean, right now, I have seen so many of my friends currently get laid off because of the economy or because of what's going on in advertising and marketing. So there was no safety net there either. So what I'm saying is that if you have fear of, what about doing, what if I try something different? What if I'm, try it and it doesn't work? Or what if, I fail? Or all of that fear, you're just as safe trying something different or preparing yourself to do something different as you would be staying where you're at right now, guaranteed. And the beautiful part is, trying something different and doing something different not only will make you happy, but you have control over it. So there's that fear, but there's that also that possibility, and that excitement. And I'm not saying, jump ship today. Not everyone's like me where you found what you wanted to do and you decided to take off. But I'm saying, start thinking about it and give yourself the gift of thinking like, or living like it's possible. Give yourself that gift. So put the fear away and just kind of like take it piece by piece, little small pieces. What would that look like? What would it look like if I did this? What would it look like if I did that? When I started to put the fear away and actually look at things the way that they are, and be honest with myself, I actually was able to create a plan for myself so that I could live like it's possible and I could create this amazing career that I love so much. Everyone, it does look like I just jump shipped. I actually didn't. I actually planned for 5 years before I made a change. But the thing is that I put the fear away so I could start to plan. Okay, so next is guilt. Another thing that keeps us from stopping or starting something, or even dreaming, like it stops us from dreaming of what's possible, is guilt. A lot of times as women, we feel like, we need to take care of our families. I personally had a small daughter. She was 6 years old when I decided to go ahead and take my leap. And there was guilt there. It's like, what if I make a mistake? What if I fall on my face? What if I, mess up and I can't afford college? What if, what if, right? What I wasn't doing at first was I wasn't what ifing, I succeed. What if she watches me and she sees that I'm happy and I'm not exhausted or bored or complaining about work. I'm literally joy, I'm filled with joy because I get to do something I love. Like, what if my daughter saw me soar to be? What if I didn't do this? And she saw the other side of it where I was burnt out, I was unhappy, I was going through the motions, I was just trying to get to the next retirement marker. I was counting every minute of every day, right? So what I'm saying is there's guilt. You might feel selfish for wanting something different. Sometimes people will think you're crazy for wanting something different because you're really great at what you do, and I get that. But honestly, if I wouldn't have left, I think that my relationship with a lot of people, including my daughter, would be different. My relationship with myself would be different. And I would probably feel guilty. I used to feel guilty for leaving work to go to, something for my family. And now I would rather, do what I'm doing and have, if I feel guilt at all, it's more so because I love my job so much that I end up working a lot just because I love what I do. So, but guilt can be a stop us from doing what we want and stop us from taking control of our career. And you just need to put that in perspective. If you're feeling that way, I want you to put it in perspective and think about what the future holds for you and for your family and anyone else who's within your sphere of influence. When someone sees you happy and you radiate joy, they want the same. So, and I want you to have that. So the next one is financial. And this is a huge one, okay? Because scarcity mindset is a killer. Scarcity mindset is the killer of joy. It's the killer of creativity. It is the killer of all things. So when I say scarcity mindset, I mean, it's the fear of not having enough money to do something. So financially, it stops us. So if you're anything like myself, I was making a ton of money, which was fantastic. It was yay, that was amazing. Um, and I thought, well, if I move or if I change or I do something different, how am I going to support my family? What if I lose or if I quit or if I don't succeed? How will I take care of things? Right. So, where's that money going to come from? And here's the secret. I did not, like I said, just jump ship. I planned. So this is actually my whole 90-day reframe is built upon the foundation of what I did in order to leave and make sure that I was okay. So I took care of certain things financially and kind of squirreled things away and took care of that foundation before I left. So there's a way to do it. And I walk my clients through that and we talk about that. But the other thing is, I want you to hear this and remember this. The same person that's sitting in your chair right now that is making all of the money, right? And that has been successful is the same person that is going to make you the money and keep you successful, but in your vision of success. So, in your way, you are in control. So, if you create the success that you have right now, and you have the financial success that you have right now, if that's what you want, you can create it again because you created that. It wasn't your boss, it wasn't his boss or her boss. You did that. So just be, as I tell my clients and as I work with my clients, you just are smart about the planning process of this. And then you will be just as successful and financially stable as you are now. In fact, probably more so because there's no cap. You don't have to wait about whatever, the rate is for getting your raise. Is it 3% for the living expenses, living wage? There's none of that. If you want more, go get it. You go get more. And that's if you, decide to create your own company. So again, you want to go get it because you created this, you can create that. You just plan. That's all you have to do. Promise you. And finally is limiting beliefs. So here, here is where a lot comes up, right? A lot comes up for us because limiting beliefs we were told, things that we've seen in society, et cetera, et cetera. So these limiting beliefs tell us that, we need to stay with a company for a very long time. It's not okay as women to ask for a raise. You have to have 100% of all of the skills before you can ask for a promotion when, many times, and this has been proven, men will ask with 60% of whatever the skills are for that promotion. So limiting beliefs. So these limiting beliefs hold you back. They take the reins from you in your career and they say, hey, you can't do that because X, Y, or Z. Well, guess what? Those limiting beliefs, they were, put there for a reason. They've been helpful, but they're not the way that you need to live your life. You can create your own beliefs. You can create your own, for lack of a better term, yellow brick road. And you can create your own career journey. You can be in control of your career. So whatever your vision of success is, that's what, you can create. So, and it doesn't have to be what your mom's was, doesn't have to be what your husband's, is necessarily, or your partner. It doesn't have to be, what society tells us it has to be. Your vision of success is your vision of success. And whatever that is, you can create. I mean, look at you. Look at where you've come from, right? Look what you've done in your career so far. So it's time for you to look at all the things that you do and all of the wonderful things that you provide to your company right now and think to yourself, if I'm not happy, what can I do? Where can I go? What's that first step that I can take, right? So really, this is what I wanted to talk about today because I feel so passionate about it. I've heard so many horror stories recently of friends losing their job and them feeling, like it's hard because our lives, work is part of our lives. Career is a huge part of our lives. So who are you when you're not attached to the career that you had yesterday? And I just want to say you are you. You are the one that created that career in the first place. And you will create another one. And if you want, if you haven't been laid off and you're still in your position, you can create whatever you want. We all can. And that's living in possibility. It's living like it's possible. That's what that means. So next week, I do want to tell you, and thank you all for watching this. Next week, I do want to just bring it all home and let you know, I am actually going to be talking next week. It's not going to be a live stream. It's actually a live workshop and it's free. And it comes with a workbook that you can actually start working through all of this, right? And there's 4 big success derailers. And we're going to walk through what those success derailers are. We're going to talk about how to get around or avoid those success derailers. And we're going to start talking about how to get you on the path to, taking control back in your career and getting the career that you want and making sure that you're living like it's possible and living the way that you want to, because our jobs and our careers are such a big part of us. And again, for those of you that may be watching this and have lost your jobs recently, this is for you too, because we're, like I said, everybody, you are successful and you created that success, right? And you can create the success that you want from here on out. There is no, oh God, just get me to 65. Okay. No. There is, oh my gosh, I love what I do. And we're going to create that for you. So anyway, so this is the big 4 success derailers. It's going to be next Tuesday, 12:15 Eastern time. So just go to amandahercoaching.com/success-derailers. And please register, because then you're going to get all of the emails. You'll get the e-workbook. You'll get, the Zoom link that it's going to be on, because we're doing this through Zoom. It's going to be a very intimate, like one-on-one with me, or not one-on-one, whatever, probably 20 20 to 1, something like that. But we'll get together and you're going to be able to actually ask questions. And this is live and it's for you and it is free. So please feel free to sign up for that. So thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, I haven't seen any. I'm still learning this software. So, but I do look forward to seeing you at the workshop next week. And I will be here on Wednesday, live streaming with another topic next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 12:15, the business of possibility. Okay. Thank you. Enjoy your week.